Hello friends, in this video we will discuss Environment Impact Assessment. First of all, what is EIA, Environment Impact Assessment? So for all development projects, the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change, that is a ministry in the central government for purposes and matters relating to environment, and this ministry requires an impact assessment done by a competent organization. So before taking up any development projects or any other construction purposes, an environment impact assessment study has to be conducted. And this EIA must look into the physical, biological and social parameters of this project. The environment impact assessment indicates what are the likely impacts of the proposed project on the environment, on the physical system as well as on the social system. And this EIA must define what impact it would have on water, soil, air, flora, fauna, endangered species as well as on the lives of the local people. So in different dimensions of the environment, what are the impacts that the project have? That is studied under EIA. And for about 30 different industries, the Ministry of Environment and Forest requires a clearance before they are set up. So as you have seen, before any project comes into action, it is important to take up a study to analyze its impact. So EIA is a study on what are the impacts of a project if implemented. Now let us have a quick understanding about the historical background when this EIA was brought. As we have already studied, India enacted Environment Protection Act in 1986. That was an umbrella act for conservation of nature and environment in India. And under the provisions of this act, the first EIA norms was notified in 1994. So as I have already mentioned in different videos, the second half of the 20th century, the 1950s, 60s, 70s and the later decades were instrumental in people recognizing the duty of them in protecting nature. So in 1990s, plenty of development projects were being taken up. Dams were being constructed, industrial cities were being built, industries were coming, and the environmental resources were hugely being exploited. And then people began to realize that there needs to be some kind of protection for the environment, and environment acts were enacted. And this EIA was proposed, and EIA was made mandatory for different projects, because it was understood that it is important to study the impacts of a project before it is built. So this 1994 norms on EIA placed a legal framework for regulating activities that access, utilize and affect natural resources. Later this draft of EIA was modified in 2006 and it was again redacted in 2020. Maybe you have heard about Environment Impact Assessment draft of 2020. So that is a modification of the previously existing EIA norms. Now what is done under EIA? Usually the projects can be classified into those with a mild impact, a moderate impact or a serious impact. And to get an environment clearance, the proposer of the project is expected to apply to the State Pollution Control Board. And after this process, the process of EIA starts. And as indicated in this chart, this is the usual process that is happening in an EIA. Let us look into that. First, when a proposal is made, the project is screened. Screening is the first step. And after screening, the project is either considered to be requiring an EIA, an environment impact assessment, or sometimes the project will be of no impact, no environmental impact, and in that case, no environment impact assessment is required. the government will identify some projects which require EIA, and maybe some projects will not require EIA because they are of no harm to the environment. After that screening process, the second process is called scoping. Then the third step is impact analysis, where an analysis of the impact is made. Then mitigation and impact management is the fourth step. How can we overcome this impact? That is analyzed in the fourth step. And in the fifth step, this EIA report is made. A study or a report on what are the impacts of this project, that is finally drafted. And this EIA is reviewed in the sixth step. And finally, a decision is made whether to approve the project or not approve the project. And if not approved, the EIA again has to be submitted and redesigned, and the process will continue. So you don't have to worry about this chart. Let us simply understand there are plenty of steps involved in EIA, like screening, scoping, impact analysis, mitigation and impact management, preparation of EIA report, review and decision making are the major steps. So as you can see here, public involvement is a major part of EIA process. As you can see, in this step of scoping, public involvement is usually made. So this scoping is the open and interactive process for determining the major issues of the project. So through this scoping, the initial problems with the project is identified. So in this process of scoping, public involvement is made. That means the feedback from the public is taken, their issues are addressed, and only after that the later stages of EIA draft preparation is done. Finally, at the review stage, as you can see, finally after the EIA report is made, in the review stage of the EIA report, again the public is involved. So Ministry of Environment and Forest makes it mandatory for public involvement. When a project is being done at a place, the hearings of the public should be done regarding their concerns, regarding their issues and other related matters, how the project will affect them and what are the responses of them. So public involvement is very important in the EIA process. It is done in the scoping stage, initial stage, as well as at the final stage. When finally, just before the decision is made, again the public is being called. So this is the general EIA process. For every project that is undertaken in the country, this type of EIA process is to be made. And those projects which require EIA are mentioned by the Ministry of Environment and Forest. So you don't have to study this complete chart. You can just try to remember at least some of the steps involved in the EIA process. And you can also remember that public involvement, hearing from the public, is also an important part of this EIA process. And under this EIA process, there are two different kinds of projects. One is greenfield project and one is brownfield project. A greenfield project is a new project which is starting up from scratch, and brownfield project is one which is an add-on to the existing project. When the existing project is being redesigned or reconstructed, we call that a brownfield project. For all these kinds of projects, environment impact is to be done, impact assessment is to be done, and both these kinds of construction activities and projects can affect environment in a variety of ways. And even though a good process to ensure that the impactment assessment is done before a project is made, there are plenty of concerns with regard to EIA process. For example, the voices of project affected people are not often heard. Even when there is this public hearing in the EIA process, the people could not often make their concerns heard because this process is too much related to legal side, and people are often not educated that much and they cannot understand the terms and other definitions that are made in the EIA. So often the common people, those who are affected by the environment impact, cannot make their views heard when it comes to the EIA process. So you usually know in the environmentally sensitive regions where projects are implemented, usually we have maybe tribal people might be living there, or people from very weaker sections of the society might be living there, and they might not be even able to understand the basic features of the project. So in that context, this public hearing is just a name, just for the name's sake, and the voices of the people are not often heard. Then large number of EIAs are inadequately researched and frequently biased. Often these reports are made by the companies, and they often bias their reports so that they will show that very little impact is made by the project. And often the research is done with a biased view just to show that the environment impact is minimum for the project. So in that context, EIA is very much biased and often inadequately researched. And the biodiversity concerns frequently are sketchily considered, often not a proper count of the endangered species or other economically relevant species are not made. And changes in the land use patterns is rarely taken into account, or the issues related to equity of resources are not considered. For example, when a project is being done, sometimes some group of people will be affected more. Maybe for example, if a cola company is being established at a place, this will deplete the underground water. And for the lower sections of the society, this underground water will be the major share for agriculture and drinking purposes. But for the well-off section, maybe they are getting water from the municipality, or they may be able to purchase water. But for the weaker sections, maybe this underground water is their life source, and this cola company, establishing a cola company, will be impacting them more. So there are plenty of issues related to equity. Some people will be affected more, some people will be affected less, and that is often not considered in the preparation of EIA. So even when there is EIA system in India, often the study made in the EIA is not proper, and all these issues are existing with the current setup of EIA. And with this, in this 2020, a new EIA draft was made, and there were huge discussions and protests related to this EIA draft. And let us consider what are the major concerns with regard to this 2020 EIA draft. There is dilution of existing provisions in the EIA draft of 2020. So the already existing EIA was faulted due to plenty of reasons, and the newly prepared EIA draft of the 2020 is again diluting the existing provisions. So then nothing will be left in the EIA process. For example, this 2020 draft proposes to reduce the period of public consultation hearings. Earlier it was mentioned that 40 days of window should be open for public hearing and people to respond with their concerns. But the 2020 draft reduces this period. Now a little time is provided for public consultation. So even before the people get to know about this process, the process will be over. So by that, the public hearing and the time allotted for the public to respond is reduced by the 2020 draft. That is one of the major concerns. Then the 2020 draft gives wide discretionary powers to the government. For example, the government can tag certain projects as economically sensitive areas. Certain areas can be considered economically sensitive, and the projects in those areas can be given permission quickly without any EIA or any strategic process. For example, if a project is termed important for the country, for example, if a dam is built as a strategic project because it is very important, in that case, the EIA process can be omitted. So discretionary power is given to the government to either omit this EIA process. Then there is provision for post facto project clearance. What is post facto? Post facto means after committing something or after doing something, the issue is being addressed. So if a project is being done without getting a EIA, then after that they can get a clearance by paying a penalty. So that is a major issue that should be considered, because now the projects, what will be the industrialists will be doing? They will try to implement the project first, and then they will try to give penalty and escape from this process. So that is another provision that is included in the 2020 draft, and that can also affect our environment in a very negative way. Finally, there is extended period of clearances. For example, in India, mines are often constructed in forest lands, and these mines are threat to the environment. Earlier, the mines were given permission to work for 30 years, but with 2020 draft, the mines are given clearances for 50 years. So they can work without any other hindrances for 50 years now. So this extended period of clearances given to various projects can often impact the environment in a negative way. Finally, the CAA draft of 2020 exempts a long list of projects from public consultation and prior clearance. So these are the major issues of 2020 draft. So you can just try to remember one or two of these concerns. So this is a issue that is prevalent in the current day. So I hope this process of EIA is clear for you. There was an already existing EIA for studying about various impacts of the projects, and it came into existence in 1994. Later it was modified many times, and there is a process involved in the EIA where the impact is studied, analyzed, a report is made and reviewed, and finally approval is given for a project. And there are plenty of concerns with the existing EIA as well as the proposed draft of EIA. Let us hope that environment will be protected by our government in the coming days in the future. Thank you.